Hello, this is Rani Singh down here at Canalside reporting for KLTV. Here this week on this crispy wintry day to speak to Simon Grayson ahead of the clash against Brighton and Hove Albion at the John Smith Stadium this Saturday. International week this week, Simon, after a great victory against Barnsley. Firstly, let's talk about the big game last night was England-Sweden. What do you make of Zlatan Ibrahimovic's goal?
Well, I was driving back and I heard it on the radio and I heard one or two commentators getting slightly carried away with themselves, but I can understand why when I got back and saw it on the telly last night. Unbelievable technique and agility to be able to do that. And obviously he's very confident after scoring a hat-trick previously to that, but I think it's 1 in a million opportunity that it ends up in the back of the net, but full credit, 1, trying to do it, and 2, being able to execute it and end up getting 4 goals, so fantastic.
Is that something you've seen in the training ground from some of the town players?
Not necessarily from them. Maybe the staff have tried it and showed the capabilities of doing it, but we've woke up the next day with a severe back injury.
On to a serious note, Paul Dixon played the full 90 for Scotland, and Oliver Norwood has come back this morning as well. How are they doing?
Look, Dicko, as you said, played 90 minutes, so he came in and just had a massage and sent him back home to rest up for the weekend. Ola's trained as normal with the rest of the players. He got an early flight from Belfast. And just looked quite sharp. Nice for him to go away, be part of the international setup. Obviously, be disappointed that he didn't get any time on the pitch. From our point of view, I'm quite pleased about that because you want to keep your players fresh as possible. But great experience for both the players.
And on to Saturday, you host Brighton Hove Albion at home. Tell me, they've conceded the least goals in the league according to the statistics, and they hold a lot of stats for the possession as well. How do you prepare yourself, and what do you expect from?
Well, they play a certain style of football, play from the back through midfield and try and keep the ball as often as possible. So the statistics show that they're one of the best teams for keeping retention of the ball, the number of passes that they have in the game, and we have to be aware of the strength of it. So we worked on a few things that we'd like to impose on the game at the weekend. I think it's going to be one of them games where everybody has to be patient, the players, the supporters, because if we go gung-ho, we might get picked off in certain areas. So we have to be patient, but it doesn't mean to say that we won't be trying to get in amongst them and get a few tackles flying in and shots and crosses in goal, because that's what we try and do no matter what team we play. And
previously, Huddersfield only lost once in 10 against Brighton. As a manager, or as any manager in any division, is that something that you expect to maintain?
Well, I'd like to maintain it, but somebody was saying in the stats last week that I'd only won 1 in 10 against Barnsley. So I said I'd like to make that 2 in 11. So Gus will be doing exactly the same thing if he's having that stat thrown at him. So stats are there to be broken or to maintain. Hopefully this stat is one that we can maintain and make it 1 in 11.
And speaking of Gus Poyet, he's had a playing career at Chelsea and Tottenham, and also now he's done ever so well at Brighton with the promotion and fighting off relegation in his first season. What can you expect from his style of play, him being a foreign manager?
Well, as we spoke about, they're a passing team, got some good players in the team, Premiership players. Wayne Bridge, Michael Smith's a fantastic striker. Get the ball down, pass it in the right areas. Gus was a fantastic player, carried that forward as a manager. I think it's a football club that is moving in the right direction, both on it and off it. We've got a chairman who backs his manager as well, so it's moving in the right. I think there's a lot of comparisons probably between the two football clubs, and I just think the football side of it the weekend should be a cracking game for everybody, and hopefully we can come out on top.
I mean, how do you approach a game? Is it a case of you sit back and let them have it, or attack them on the counter attack?
Well, one, you'll have to wait and see, because people might pick up on this interview, but we'll approach it in a positive manner, but work within the framework of the team, however we set it out to, because they do play a certain way, but there'll be times where we won't have the ball, there'll be times when we have it. It's obviously what we do without the ball will make it very difficult for them to score against us, but it's obviously when we have the possession of the ball, we want to be very positive in our approach and try and score as many goals as we can, but obviously making sure that we limit them as well.
And you're 16 games into the Championship already. Which players have been the outstanding players or at the peak of the form at the moment?
Well, I think when you look at players who have played 70-80% of their games, Clayton's done very well. I think Keith Southern has probably been a player that people, when we first signed him, didn't realise the impact that he can do. He goes about his job in a professional manner, and that rubs off on the other players. People like Peter Clark, Joe Lynch have done very well as well. Jack Hunt, look, you're naming individuals there, but it could be the whole host of them have done very well. They've all stepped up to the plate so far. Excuse me, that it's more of a team ethic that we have here, and hopefully that will continue, that they all play very well as individuals, but that rubs off on the team performances.
And this week, Dean Hall's been, the chairman's been on about keeping Jermaine Beckford potentially till the end of the season, that he'd like. You've worked with Jermaine for a long time, you know him really well as a guy. What's the incentive for him to stay, or what would keep him?
Well, I think what we can do is we can offer him the opportunities to play football. We can offer him to put a smile on his face and enjoy his time again, because he's probably suffered a little bit in terms of that at Leicester for whatever reason. But he's here playing. However long he's here for, we'll have to wait and see. But while he's here, we want to get the best out of him, and hopefully we can maybe structure a deal again in January where we keep him for the rest of the season. But we'll cross that bridge when we come to it.
And Simon Churchy, I know he was on international duty as well. How's he settling in?
No, he's a good lad, very level-headed, who wants to work hard for the team. I think you saw that last week when the position that he played wide right at times, down the middle as well, and you know what you're going to get from him. And whatever combination we play at the weekend, it'll have an effect on how we play. But it's just delight to have him here, because the host of championship clubs wanted to take him, and we're fortunate we had the opportunity to bring him here. And
finally, how's the injury front? James Vaughan, is he still?
Yeah, Vaughan is still going to be a doubt for the weekend. We're going to probably get another scan on Monday, see how everything's settled down with the thigh injury. Oscar's making progress from his ankle injury.
Speaking of Oscar, he's been out for a while now, and he's not due till next year. How do you cope with him, or how does he cope with not being as such involved in the playing side of the training?
Well, it's difficult as an individual, because when you're seeing your teammates going out and training, everybody loves training, and it's difficult psychologically, mentally to keep yourself at it as such. But we've got a good physio department here who are working him hard to get him back quickly. I thought he was outstanding pre-season in games, and we thought we had a real good talent to work with again. But fortunately, the injury came along, and he'll be back fit and able to compete for a place in the squad whenever it may be.
Best of luck for Saturday.
Cheers.
Well, there you have it. I spoke to Simon Grayson this week ahead of the clash against Brighton on Saturday. He has assured me that he has got his game plan in check against the Seasiders, who have conceded the least in the division. This is Randy Singh reporting for KLTV.